Gary, we know you can be hard to please sometimes, but there weren't too many negatives to come out of Saturday. A great day for the club on a number of fronts and capped off with a 33-point win over the old arch rivals.
Yeah, you're right, Sammy. That's probably just part and parcel of hopefully keeping our standards where they should be and not lowering them for anybody. But overall, if you had to use one word, I think it was the effort. And it's interesting when you listen to certain people in football environments, I guess, they ask about if your effort defines how you play, and if you don't have effort, it's hard to define who you are, what you do and how you play and what your brand is. But I certainly thought our effort on Saturday was a stark contrast to the week before. And one really pleasing thing that came out of the match was that I think it was led predominantly by our younger brigade, and I know Mac was well deserved with the Frank Johnson medal, and Mitch Woolford, and it probably would have been interesting to try and split the two because they were terrific. Young Strawny in the ruck before he went off, hurt, and I thought guys like Bettison and Spencer with his first game, it says a lot about Cookie too coming back in, and he just allows us to be a lot more stronger down there as well. And Heratuku got back into a little bit of form. So all in all, for us to win, there was just going to be an effort that was contributable to everybody, and that's what we needed.
We made 4 changes to the side from the previous week, but overall, what do you pinpoint as some of the keys to such a big turnaround from the week before in the loss to Sandringham?
Effort. I think the realisation that that's probably just been our poorest performance for the year, the week before against Sandringham. I think also too, the game challenges you a lot. Obviously I challenge the group a lot, and it's a pretty proud group really when it's all said and done. I think we know that. And just the day with the Frank Johnson tribute game, the heritage jumper as well, there was just, I think, a lot on the line for the group, and it just keeps us, I guess, in pace with where we want to go. Like, you're only one game off top 4 because of the nature of the competition, but certainly their mindset was much better. They had a good week on the track on Wednesday and Thursday, and I think overall the mood that was set before the game was about taking responsibility and buy-ins, and I thought that was evident. When we kicked goals on the weekend, there was a lot of celebration, a lot of joy, whereas the week before it was all too difficult. And at the end of the day, as someone once said, you just don't want to be working on having excuses as to why you can't perform other than the opposition are that better than you, and that's not the case.
And aside from the game itself, occasions like we celebrated on Saturday for the Frank Johnson Heritage Day are great for the club, aren't they? We saw a good crowd, obviously the heritage jumpers, as you said, the tribute medal to Mac Rivette, and it seems as if the boys, rose to that occasion as well.
Yeah, and even the feel-good too, I guess, from my point of view, and they're only little things, but we had the little photograph on the ground before the game, and maybe that just takes you back to grand final day last year where you run onto Etihad and you get that little photograph with all the boys looking good. So really for us, it was a feel-good day, and it's just important, like our supporters come out, and of course they're wonderful, and to pay respects for the day because we know how much of a legend Frank Johnson was and is, and it's just important for us to keep that legacy going as far as doing him proud, and the way the family has obviously been able to support the day as well. So the vibe in the aftermatch was really good, and of course we'll just hopefully build on that because Box Hill at Box Hill's a big challenge.
And just on that, we've had some really entertaining contests with the Hawks over the last few years, and this fixture has got an uncanny knack of throwing up a milestone game. This Sunday it's little Tossie O'Sullivan, who we all love, in his 100th game, but also obviously another very important game in the context of the season because we're going to come up against a few sides who are almost identically placed to us over the next few weeks.
Yeah, well, ain't that the truth, mate? And obviously on Tossie's 100th, it's come around probably pretty quickly, really, if you go back to his journey and being in the leadership group and being in the top 3 in the BNF over a couple of years. And I did actually see one of our good little players from previous days in Josh Kipione on the weekend, and I see he's hurt his thumb, and I said that Josh could perhaps do a talk for Toss on the weekend out at, we could maybe get Neil Ross's vocabulary, expletives probably deleted, but I said to Josh, you might want to come out and actually talk about Tossie, but anyway, he'll be there supporting obviously. But yeah, it's a great day. Milestone games to me are always super important, and I think we need to make sure that we're very much about what we can do as a team, but make it a good day for Tommy as well.
Well, Gary, thanks as always. Great work to you and the boys on the weekend, and we'll see you out at Box Hill on Sunday.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.